What's up, y'all? Welcome inside another edition of I Love You, Say It Back. It's the podcast, Vic D, chilling in the Creative Haven, live in downtown Bakersfield. We're not even going to argue if we are live or not, because I'm telling you, this is live. We are live. So whenever you're listening to, you are getting an unfiltered live version of the show. So thank you guys for joining us. Officially one of the greatest weeks of the entire calendar year. I would say this is probably the best outside of Christmas, but that's a conversation we had on the previous episode. So go check that out. My name is Vic D. We got a producer in studio, mic'd up. How you doing?
What up?
That is Life of Evera. I'm at Vic D Radio. The show is ILY Say It Back Pod in the Creative Haven, brought to you by the Creative Crew. The whole gang is in. Glad to have you all with us as we kick off this Thanksgiving week. We're officially in Thanksgiving week, and boy, does it feel good to be here. You know, we wait so long all year to get to a point where you're like, you know what, I'm excited about this. And I mean, what can you say other than it's here? It's one of the greatest weeks. Let's put on some pounds, ladies and gentlemen. Before we continue, want to remind you guys, thank you so much. We had a new sponsor, Rev Nutrition jumped on. I had this on the podcast last episode, but I think I had it off to the side. But yeah, Rev Nutrition. And they were like, hey, do you want a new bottle for the bottle? And I said, no. I want people to know that I've been using this bottle and I use it daily for a while. Like, you know, we got to keep it true, organic. So shout out Rev Nutrition. They are going to be kicking off their Black Friday deals this Wednesday. So make sure y'all jump on those and got some incredible deals. You get a Define, you get a free melt. You buy two Defines, get the third one free. We got some off to the side here. We got a couple flavors, Blue Hawaiian, Sour Gummy, delicious. And you got the watermelon infused lime or lime infused watermelon. It's one of the two, but regardless of what you call it, they're good. It's one of my favorite things. That's why we have them on here. But thank you, Rev Nutrition. Black Friday deals from the 22nd until the 27th. So that will be starting to get you a little head start on those Black Friday deals. Great stuff do we have lined up for you on the podcast today. Oh, also, don't forget, use promo code I Love You, Say It Back podcast. Mention the podcast. They'll get you 20% off your entire order. And that's not just Black Friday. That's just period, right? Period, point blank. Thank you, Rev Nutrition. Also, Mattress Space, big shout out to them. Going to get you taken care of off Buck Owens Boulevard. If you're in Bakersfield, anything you need, mattress, furniture, whatever it is, he's got it. Go check them out. Thank you to our sponsors. Let's get into today's show. Because we started by mentioning it's one of the greatest weeks of the year. It is Thanksgiving week. We've got lots of family, food, all the great stuff that you already know about coming our way, right? We know about that stuff. But we live in this society. We live in this world now where, you know how there's a pendulum that swings kind of like way over here. And then we're like, oh, it's way over here, when society really needs to be somewhere in the middle. And what I'm referring to is social media, food social media during the holidays. We live in this world where you often hear so much like, hey, one of my favorite people on earth, Colin Cowherd, my favorite sportscaster, he's one of my heroes. I went down to LA to meet him for like 15 minutes. It was one of the greatest days of my life, and I will talk about it to my children and their children one day. But he says this thing, and I do not agree with it like whatsoever.
You're going in and out.
Am I?
Well, you were when you did that.
How about now?
No, you're good now.
I'm good now?
Yeah.
Okay. So Colin Cowherd, one of my favorite people, one of my greatest sportscasters, in my opinion. And this isn't like, oh, his opinions are accurate. Oh, here's a little grody. It's more about how he presents an argument. Again, that's a topic all for another episode. But he often says, yeah, hey, nobody cares about what you had for lunch. Hey, and I'm sure you've heard that a lot. You see it on Facebook and you're like, hey, you had lunch? Congratulations, nobody cares. Actually, I do care. I love seeing people's lunches. I love seeing what you had for dinner. Give me all the food content that you can give me. You go to try a new restaurant. I want to see it. You go to a place that I'm very familiar with. In-N-Out, Chick-fil-A, Olive Garden, you name it, Burger King. I don't care. I want to see. You know why? Because it gives me an inside look at you. I think you could tell a lot about a person by the food that they get, the way that they order certain things. If you go to In-N-Out, yeah, I want to know how you order it. Are you getting a double-double, sweetheart? Are you getting the grilled onions? Are you getting a double-double with a hamburger, with a cheeseburger, with an extra cheese? Are you doing the weird thing that people are now doing with the onion as a bun? Weirdos. Are you doing the thing where you eat the lettuce, where you pretend to be healthy? Look, let me just say this real quick. Rant in the middle of a rant. If you're going to In-N-Out, get the damn bun. Quit doing this lettuce crap. Quit doing this lettuce crap where you're faking like, I'm going to go to In-N-Out, but just to prove that I'm better than everyone, you're like, oh, you guys eat it with a bun? I'm going to get it with lettuce. You clearly want the In-N-Out. You clearly want the fries. You're clearly craving all this, but you do it just so you could brag on social media. Look, oh, you guys, you peasants get buns. I'm sorry, I ate it with the lettuce. Go make yourself a damn salad. You're going to In-N-Out. Get the damn bread, the toasted, delicious bread. Matter of fact, get 2 of them. But we got to quit pretending like we're better than people because I get a little bit of lettuce. Oh, that's cute. Oh my gosh, you get buns. Oh, no, not me. I do grilled onions with the lettuce. Like, we got to cut that shit out. Leave that in 2024. Same way we need to leave behind this idea of like, nobody cares what you had for lunch. Listen, boomer, we do. How do you think I get ideas for where to go next? I'm like, damn, that place, that restaurant, that looked pretty good. I want to try that new restaurant because they had blank and blank and blank. Why? Because I saw it on someone's social media. Why? Because these videos go viral when there's a new restaurant in town, when there's a new restaurant, when there's a new spot, or maybe it's the same spot, but they added a new item to their menu. Guess what? I wouldn't have known about it if you didn't post about it. And a lot of people have told me, too, they're like, oh, I didn't know that this spot existed or that they had that available. It's like there's a lot of fun, like, secret menu items, places like that. And it often opens up that door where you're like, okay, well, now because this person posted it, this person now can go try it. Or it's like a small little community. But regardless, we all love food. We all eat. Yeah, some of us may pretend like we're better than others and try to get lettuce when we want to go to In-N-Out. Quit faking it. But I do want to see what you eat. That's how I judge you. Man, do they get extra pickles on their whatever they're getting? I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. Do you get too much mustard? Ugh, disgusting. How do you eat your Chick-fil-A? Hey, what do you get on your Chipotle burrito? Let me see that bowl. Do you go extra sour cream? Because if you do, I'm in love with you. When you go to Olive Garden, are you getting the tour of Italy? Because it feels like there's, you know what I'm saying? Are you getting chicken parm? Are you getting the Alfredo? I want to know. That's how I'm judging you. Are you getting the fish that's staring right back at you? Because if you do, 20 points down. I think it's so weird when you get that fish's body that's like they didn't even do anything to, like they didn't even skin the fish. The fish is just whole, like sitting there just staring at you like, go ahead. Why don't you start with my butt? Like, what are we doing? Whose idea was it? Just like, hey, put that thing in the fry a little bit. It's going to stare right back at you while you eat it, but it'll be delicious.
Some people cut the head off.
What in the paisa? Nah, sí, compa, échatelo así, chingón, con tapatío y limón, compa. Like, that's Mexican solution to everything. Tapatío y limón. You put that on their Doritos. You put that on the hot Cheetos. You put it on your fish that's staring right back at you. Speaking
I don't
of things,
know, man. I used to see that my whole life growing up, and I thought it was so disgusting. And then, like, I eat it now.
yeah.
Remember, the last couple of years, I've started getting into seafood, though.
Yeah. Well, you're disgusting. That's why I do want to know what people are eating, what people are doing, because now I don't know if I can work this guy anymore. I'm into seafood. Huh. This whole time I was under the impression you thought it was repulsive like I did. That's why this relationship works so well. But yeah, I do love eating. I get ideas. I get, what's great. And I know someone who is really creative at like picking restaurants. And I know this is going to sound really silly, but I've talked about my struggles about picking food and picking restaurants on Sundays. I feel like I got one shot to nail it. And I'm not very creative. My mind goes to the same usual spots. It's like, oh, Panda. And it's just like real basic stuff. But then I know someone who's got like, they throw something out and I'm like, I never would have thought about that. I never would have. And I'm like, you nailed it. That's so. They're throwing out places like Ike's sandwiches. They're throwing out places like Jersey Mike's. They're throwing out places that that aren't like grand, but they are places that I maybe never would have thought of to go on my own. So when people say like, oh, lunch, oh, congratulations, you had lunch. Guess what? Everyone else did. It's like, well, yeah, I want to see theirs and I want to see everybody else's. I want to, if for nothing else, I want to judge how you get your orders. Where you go. Are you going to McDonald's? Are you? A lot of people won't post when they go to McDonald's. You see that? You notice that? They're like, oh, I don't want to. Yeah, billions and billions served, but nobody ever goes, riddle me that. Nobody likes to admit that they go to McDonald's. McDonald's is absolutely delicious, but nobody ever posts that. We post In-N-Out. We post Italian restaurants around town. Sorella, fantastic. Little date night action. The Trio, we got to get them on as a sponsor. That would be fantastic. I'll be there every night. But yes, I do want to know what you're eating. It's how I judge you. It's how I get ideas for new restaurants, for new food, new menu items. If nothing else, it tells me a hell of a whole lot more about you and whether I like you or not. Keep posting your food pictures. Does it bother you, Eric, when people post their pictures?
Food?
Food.
No, actually, well, it depends in what way they post. Because you got to remember, social media has such a different way of letting people showcase something. So for me, I like when people post like say they go traveling somewhere, they'll post the selfie, and then they'll post you scroll the carousel, you'll see one of their food plates at a nice spot. You'll see a view of somewhere. So if they mix it in like that, I love watching food because now I can get an idea of the culture, the experience that they got going somewhere else. It might make me want to do that.
It's this exact same idea, right? Okay, you post when you travel and you want to show like, oh, I would have never thought to go to Bali or Greece or anything like that. But now that I saw it on your page, mate, now I might want to go to this place. That might be a spot that I want to try. That might be a spot that I want to go to. Same with food. It's like, oh, I would have never thought to go to that place or try that menu item. Mm-hmm. So people are just obsessed with it. And it's all this, and I got this a lot when I was at the radio station. Certain audiences aren't very fond of social media. They are not fond of, they're like, hey, keep it to yourself and get back to work and put your boots on. And it's just like, hey, there's a whole different world out here, pal. And I know it may not be for you, but we got to stop telling people like, hey, nobody cares about your lunch. Hey, congratulations, you had lunch. I want to know. I want to see. I thought you were going to add on to that.
No.
That was a very strong close. That was a strong close that left it open to you. This is where, like the beginning chemistry. This is why they do,
and I'm
like,
sorry.
When they do like new TV shows.
No one knows this, but I can't see your face because the lighting structure.
I know, I'm peeking over.
So it's always funny. I'm trying to,
I'm trying to take a little peek over there. Well, since we're here and you want to ruin the show, let's talk about how our fantasy football bet update. How are we looking? It is not done, by the way. We're recording this Monday morning. You still have players on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
I still have players on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
But we have an idea of which way it's trending, although nothing is set in stone.
I have the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs who catches passes and gets a workload on the carries. So
and he also runs really funny. If you're watching the game, or I guess this is going to come out tomorrow morning, but if you're watching the game tonight, Isaiah Pacheco stomps.
Yeah.
He does not run. He stomps. And it's hilarious to watch. But you got him. He's their starting running back.
Yeah. I think he's gonna have his best game of the season today.
Yeah, he's gonna.
But the only thing that sucks is I'm going against AJ Brown. So he's pretty much been one of the elite receivers this year. But he didn't have a great game, I think, a week or two ago. So if he can mimic that and my guy gets 25 points
and then I have my kicker
doesn't score anything.
He misses. He gets like -3.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, please.
There is a world where I have zero confidence in like until the game's over.
Oh, 100%.
That's how every I have zero confidence. Fantasy football is like really an ugly world.
Yeah, it's pretty hurtful sometimes. Where you're like, I'm winning the. I'll never forget because on paper, you'll see names. You're like, oh yeah, this guy is gonna win, and then somehow playoffs are like, we're gonna sit the first string. Let's give this guy a chance.
Exactly.
We don't really need to win, and that guy goes off for like 3 touchdowns, 250 yards, and they're like, who was this guy? And next year he's the number 1 like running back.
Yep.
And
then the other part of it is some Monday or some weekends you don't even look forward to. That you're like, you look at your projections and you're like, why am I even,
yeah.
Some of those are nice because you can kind of be like, all right, I'm going to take the L this week and I'll be okay. The worst ones are like, this was a fun match and it was good that we made a bet on it because it was literally 50-50. You were cooking me after Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
And it was a close game throughout. I've taken a little bit of a lead, but he still has a player. I still got player. Who's to say that my guy doesn't get injured on the first play like Aaron
100%.
Rodgers?
Yeah.
And my kicker gets 3 points and your guy goes off for 40.
I don't know why we had to bring up Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I think that's very possible. We talked about this yesterday. My team is actually playing really well. A lot of my players are all putting up like 20 points each.
Yeah.
It's just you had a 30 burger with someone.
Jalen Warren, Steeler Nation.
If that extra 9 points wasn't there from him, I feel like this is a solid, still 50-50 almost on the board.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a breakout 75-yard run. But, we'll get back on it. Some of the ideas that I threw out for punishment, some people threw out some, like, really extreme ones, which is hilarious. Don't stop being you. Keep being extreme. Some people say, like, if Eric wins it, I got to chop my hair off, which, wild, but, hey, I don't rule anything out. Someone threw out the idea of, like, loser has to chug a can of, like, soup, which I think is absolutely hilarious. It's a great idea because to me, then in that case, I would kind of like hope to lose because it reminds me a little bit of ketchup, and we love ketchup around here.
No, we don't.
And so there's that, but it'll all get figured out after Monday Night Football, and then we'll have the punishment coming sooner than later. I'm drinking Define as we speak, so if you're like, man, he's really crushing this podcast, now go get your 20% off and get your flavies in there. So there's our fantasy football update. All right. Some deals, some values are so incredible. It actually blows my mind that they're in a world now where everything's so expensive and there's no like, hey, a cheeseburger used to be $1 and now it's like $4. In a world where that is now our reality. And it sucks. There are some incredible deals. And this one just came out just in time for holiday season. Did you hear about this Wendy's little key card?
Wendy's key card?
Yeah. So basically, it's like a little keychain that they give you. You put it on your keys, right? And if you have it, it's like a little frosty. And you get a free frosty every day in 2024. So you buy them now. If I were to tell you how much this costs, how much this little keychain costs, you get 1 free frosty a day for all of 2024. How much do you think that key card costs? Or that little keychain?
A free frosty every day of all of 2024? You just go and get a frosty every day?
Yeah, you show them your keychain and they probably scan. I don't know if they scan it or however they do it, but you get 1 free frosty a day for an entire year. All you have to do is buy a keychain.
Okay, and you just have to show the keychain.
Yep.
Okay, maybe $50?
It's $3. 1, 2, 3, $3. They came out with this, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, this is cool. This is really cool.
And
then
what
you
is
think
this for? Frosty?
it's for Wendy's.
For Wendy's? Oh,
Wendy's
okay.
Frosty. You just drop by, grab some fries, pay for some fries. This is obviously what they want. They just want to get you in there. But
Yeah.
get you some fries on the way home, get you a little something. It's a perfect holiday gift. I almost don't even want to tell. Like, I hope people don't know about this. I'm probably going to get one for, like, everyone in my family. I'm going to spend $12 and cover everybody, sweetheart. I'm going to be like, hey, here's a free Frosty for all of 2024. I'm going to give it to my sister. She's going to be like, how'd you pull this off? And I'm going to be like, hey, don't worry about it. Your little bros got you. And she's going to be, this is incredible.
And they turn around, say commercial, $3.99 for 10 years. What? Don't worry about it. I got you, baby.
Hey, don't worry. Hey, I pulled some strings. The podcast is doing well.
Wendy's reached out. Sponsors are coming in like crazy. So no, that's funny. No, it's a good marketing team because the truth is probably their profit margins on those Frosties or anything, probably with how they buy them, and it's just ice and flavor. The profit margins are probably zero anyway. So giving that at that price is probably what puts them at a zero marker. But like you said, where they're making their money is like, hey, let's go get this Frosty. Oh, but I want a burger, Mom, or something.
Bobby, I want a kid's meal.
Yeah. So they're really making about $10-15 per thing that's bought because no one's going to go every day.
And I'll tell you what, I haven't been to Wendy's, and I probably, like, it's been easy over 2-3 years. But I'm going to get one, and I'm probably going to go at least 5-6 times next year. Well, that's a person who hasn't been there in years, now going 5-6 times. It's brilliant.
And you're one person. Imagine the other
Thank you
10,
for
15,
reminding
20,000
me. Oh.
people that, are like, dang, I never go to Wendy's. I'll go for a Frosty.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like Frosties or
Right.
ice cream? And they have some of the best Frosties there.
They do. They have fantastic Frosties. You go chocolate or vanilla?
I go vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to
Vanilla.
go vanilla.
Yeah, with everything. And then the other point that I thought you were trying to roast, and you're like, yeah, and you just go by yourself because you don't love it. No, but that is just me by myself. Imagine if I had kids. Imagine if I had, a partner. It's like, okay, well, here's one Frosty, but now, here are my 2 kids who want a kid's meal now. Here's my wife who just got a craving for some chili, which, oh my God, we need to talk about Wendy's chili is fantastic. This is becoming a Wendy's segment.
You're talking about the beans, the chili beans?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, bro. I get it every time. There's no way you can tell me not to.
It's incredible. I should go. We should go after this.
I don't know if we go after this, but we should maybe make a point of it tomorrow or something. Putting those getting the crackers, the chili beans.
Dad.
I always feel I feel like I'm fat ass when I go. I don't go all the time, but if I go to Wendy's, bro, I get the chili beans, I get some fries, I'll get the chicken nuggets, and I'll get like one of those $1 chicken sandwiches that are part of that meal. It's the best meal I ever have, and I'll pull over and sit by myself, put on some music or YouTube
Hell yeah.
video real quick, and
Or maybe I Love
go
You
to
Say It
town.
Back podcast or something.
Yeah. Or well, when it's on, only cool on social.
Yeah. The other part of it too is the baked potato. They did a great job with that baked potato. How long's it been
I
since
don't
you
think
had
I've
one
ever
of those?
grabbed a baked potato there.
Okay,
At
well-
home, fire. I've never grabbed one there. I don't think.
Yeah, go try the baked potato and the chili beans. Just incredible, especially for a fast food joint. It's good whether you got it at a sit-down restaurant, but the fact that you can get it quickly at a drive-through Wendy's is really kind of an incredible deal. But yeah, I'm hooking everybody. I'm dropping $20, and everyone in my family's getting one with these Wendy's Frosties. It's just an incredible thing. It's just a cool thing. And then you said the value. You'd be like, that'd be kind of cool, even at $50, even at $20. I'd be like, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
But it's $3. Folks, I don't mean to brag, but even I can afford that. I mean, the podcast is doing well. We got Rev Nutrition on, folks. $3 ain't no. I don't mean to brag, but it's not really big of an issue. I can do that 3-4 times. Get all my Christmas shopping done with $3.
Hey, that's you know what? That is actually a really good company gift to employees. Just go buy 100 of those bad boys if you're a big business. $300, bro, and you just took care of all of your people.
And don't even, because a lot of people don't know about this yet. I don't know how big they're pushing it, whatever. But if you just tell them, like, hey, I was able to you're going to get a free Frosty every day in 2024. like you have one free fry, they're gonna be like, "This is incredible," and they don't need to know that you literally spent $3. It blows my mind. So
I think it'd be really funny if you did it for a big business, and and the approach is, you guys work hard. We want to show our love and appreciation towards all the hard work you guys do. This is for everybody. And
Yeah.
they find out, they're like, you're
You son of
talking.
a
You
bitch.
guys are a Fortune 500 billion dollar company. You guys spent $300 to take care of your whole warehouse.
And they're like, "You're welcome." They take a bow and they're like, "You son of a bitch."
I already heard. I love you. Say it back.
Yeah, they told us all about it. Imagine we're ruining it. They're like,
Yeah,
these
the
sons
gig's
of bitches.
over.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we had a brilliant plan. But yeah, $3. And this is another episode that we're gonna do. But I think there's some incredible values that, like, certain things that cost whatever they cost, and I think we would pay way more for that. Like, and I'll give you one example. And I'm not gonna get too deep into it because I do want to save it for that episode. We'll do that one sooner than later. I think Amazon Prime for what is it now, $15 a month, is such a steal. When you get free 2-day, 1-day, or same-day delivery, when you get Amazon Music, when you get the TV shows, when you get Thursday Night Football,
Oh yeah. They have so much in
dude,
it.
it comes, honestly, I'm not joking. If they said, hey, this thing is like, because people were upset. I remember it was $12.99, jumped up to like $15. If this thing was honestly like $30, it's still a great deal.
Yeah.
It's like, and I know this podcast is just booming. They're probably going to hear about it. They'd be like, hey, hike them up. They're okay with paying more. You almost don't want them to hear this, but I think we'd all be willing to pay a little more. Shh.
Well, do you remember when Amazon Prime was like first kind of coming around years ago? Like, you'd be on Amazon, you buy some stuff, and it says get the Amazon price, and you're like, wow, I didn't know I was an Amazon Prime member. And then you order something, gets there in a day or two, and then you see a bill. You're like, when did I sign up for this? It was just, bro, this is a real story. I called Amazon one time. I said, hey, you guys been charging me for Amazon Prime for like X amount of years. I didn't even know I had it. Like, I don't know what shit you guys got going on the site that makes you accidentally click it. But, bro, they sent me like $450 back, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
See, they take care of their people.
Yeah. They give
That's
you free
awesome.
Amazon Prime if you say.
Bro.
And keep in mind, I did this years ago, like back in 2016, 17.
You knew damn well what you were doing. You
I
were
swear-
just
no,
pretending. and
I
you were
swear
like,
I didn't know I had it, but I was like, wow, I keep getting all these deals when I order. And then I seen it, like, I got so much put out of my account when I looked at it. It was in my business account too. I've used to order stuff from my business account and my personal. So it was like 2 different accounts it was running on.
yeah. It's like when you go to Vegas and you get cooked, boy. And then the next you come back and you're like, I have been home all weekend. I don't know what these charges are at the Venetian. What do you mean I took out $500 at the
They
the
send you
casino?
an instant screenshot of you at the MGM Grand.
Hey, that's a handsome guy, but that's not me.
Yeah.
You know? It's just
Hey, there's
easily
people that-
mistaken.
Doppelganger. Yeah. Hey, I've been dying, bro. I was thinking about you. I don't know why, if it's Instagram hearing our conversation or something. I get
Oh,
so
for
many
sure.
memes about those parlay,
Oh, Doug.
or gambling and betting memes and reels. So
A lot of people don't hear, obviously, we're not a gambling podcast. We're not a football podcast, but we touch on it because it's part of our lives and things like that. The part that I don't get into, and it's only because I don't really want to confuse a lot of people, like the conversations we have about betting and gambling are intense. And I just think gambling, I'm going to go off script here. This is not in my notes. I think gambling is perfect. And I'm going to sound like I need to call 1-800-GAMBLER. But I really do believe it's perfect. It is a microcosm of society and our lives. You risk big, you hit big. You can also lose big. You play it safe and you bet $400 to win 100. Odds are you will likely hit that $100. But when you lose, you are in the hole. So there's risk in playing it safe. There's big rewards in going big. And I think it's so much, it's a dumb little thing, but it's like risk, reward. It's a micro that's of society, of life, kind of like a mentality. It's like, I bet like this, and this is how I treat my life. I don't want to get too far into it, but I do think gambling is perfect. Sometimes you risk big. You lose a little bit.
It's a concept of life, bro.
It
If you
really
don't-
is. It's gambling is perfect. And I will now. We got to call 1-800-GAMBLER. Be like,
Yeah, I don't.
my buddy just went on a rant about how gambling is perfect, and I think he's in the hole like $25,000 in the last month. And
He's crying.
I said I'm fine. In the back, all pissed.
Yeah.
Hang up. I said I'm good. This is incredible. Speaking of great marketing, and Wendy's just had that $3 thing that we were talking about. Did you see the Stanley Cup that survived the car fire? So if you haven't seen this video, it's absolutely incredible. Stanley Cups have been the hottest thing. I think we want to do some I love you say it back Stanley Cup giveaways pretty soon. Just the money's got to be right. But this happened, I believe it happened last week, and there was a car fire. There was a TikToker, and her car caught on fire, whatever it is. The only thing that stayed in there was the Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup.
It's going everywhere. The actual cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the car is completely
I didn't
toast.
know if that was like a promo video of
Well, that's what we're going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
So the car, toast, cooked. The ladies, I know you already saw this video. This thing's got over like 30 million views on TikTok and so many more on YouTube and on Instagram and all that stuff. But I thought this was absolutely brilliant and such a great, if it is a marketing thing. Yeah, I'm not here to argue whether it is or not. I'm just talking about the video itself. I think it's so cool that this Stanley Cup was the only thing that survived when the whole car was cooked. Imagine they just cook a car and then they're like, hey, go ahead and just, scuff it up a little bit and put it right in the middle. But yeah, it survived. And now, after Stanley saw this video, they said, hey, we're going to cover the cost for your brand new car. Stanley Cups. Which makes sense, right? It's like a big piece of metal. I bet you I could I could have put my hydro in there and the thing would have been similar. It's just like Stanley survived. Go viral. Ladies, you love Stanley Cups. Those giant things. Have you seen the memes where they're like, they just put a handle on a bucket and they're like, hey, honey, I'm here. Because these things are getting massive, but yet they're funny at the bottom because they have to go into the cup holders, but then they're massive on the top. It's
yeah.
It's like a flower pot.
Yeah, I feel like it's funny. People walk around those things, and it literally is this subconscious thing of like, oh, let me drink more water or whatever is in here throughout the day. Because I don't have one. I want to get one, so I feel like I'm forced to drink because I'm carrying it around. But
Yeah.
it's a thing.
It'll make you conscious about drinking your water too.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's one of the last things I want to hit on. This is crazy. And I'm just going to ask you a question. This is how I'm going to present this next topic. This is called Would You? Would you give up half of your bed, the bed that you sleep on every night, for like $650? The privacy of your own bed for someone to move in and matter of fact, half of your room. So like you get this half, the other person gets this half.
And they're like it's a roommate in a bedroom.
Correct. So instead of having their own roommate, usually is like, okay, I have
In the house.
3 beds,
Yeah.
3 bedrooms, and you get that room. Would you do
They have their own bed in my room, or they
Nope.
sleeping in my bed.
sleeping in your bed?
Guy
They
or
get
girl?
half. Well, I mean, it just depends on who you select at that point. But I'm saying, would you do it at all?
Yeah. I mean, I'm comfortable sleeping on like a couch, so I feel like having half a bed wouldn't be a big deal to me.
Okay.
Depends what financial situation I'm in, and then also keep in mind I've had a roommate in my house before. It was dreadful, but I also just it was whatever.
And
I love privacy like more than I ever knew I did once I like became single and had my house to myself.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Which is a great point that you bring up and I bring this whole thing up because this is a true story that's going on in Toronto. So people in Toronto have started to list other half of their bed as rent because the housing market has just gotten so incredibly
crazy, bro.
expensive. Where now people are like, okay, well, I have a 1-bedroom apartment. I can't just rent out the couch or something. They're like, fuck it, I'll give him half my bed, half my room. You get this half of the closet, you get this half of the bed, you get, obviously we share a bathroom, whatever it is, but they're listing them for up to $650 a month. And you said you were okay with doing it. I couldn't. I mean, maybe certain situations force you into that, but I going back to your point, I enjoy my privacy too much. I enjoy just being home or coming home from a long day or whatever, and then just being able to, hey, I'm gonna take a nap. And I don't want to worry about some dork being on my bed just snoozing and farting along, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, can you turn that down? I'm trying to take a good nap, and we're both day nappers.
Yeah,
I love me a good day nap, and I don't want some dork coming in and be like, oh, you're sleeping? And I'm like, bitch, I got 4 hours of sleep last night while you're dozing away getting 9 hours at night. I get 4 hours at night, and then I get another hour nap. Do the math. That's 5 to 9, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. My privacy, my
bro. I'll say this real quick. Maybe I'll go into it one day on my podcast. My roommate, bro, literally brought. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring it. I'll have to talk about it sometime.
Go ahead, say it.
Brought a bum to my house.
Okay.
Try to sneak a bum into my house.
A homeless person, yeah.
Yeah, but with the intent, I think, 100% to sleep with this person. And I had a friend over who's a pretty known person in the city. And it was just like, yo, and I was like, yo, who is that? And because I hear this person taking a shower, and I'll go this far. All I heard was, there's shit on myself. All right,
stop.
Yeah, bro, it was bad. And I felt so bad. It was around this time of year, I think. It was so cold outside. And I couldn't let this person just go back outside after taking a shower. I gave this person like socks, a jacket, a blanket, and I sent him. At some point, we gave this person some food, and my roommate at the time. But keep in mind, this is a way older gentleman who I felt bad for and try to help for the time, and it was just weird, bro. He's like, this is my friend. I knew them back in the day. And I was like, do you know this guy? She's like, I just met him 10 minutes ago. I was like,
wait, so the homeless person was a guy or girl?
a girl. My roommate was a guy.
And he's like, what did he like adopt? Like when people find pets on the door, he's like, let's give you a bath and let's clean you right up.
He's like, I'm going to go He was just an older guy, bro, going through like a lot of stuff. He was an alcoholic. He was drinking every day in my backyard. And I think he was bringing that person over to take care of some,
That's probably the wildest story that we've had on the podcast.
Oh, bro,
so
like if you hear the full story, it's wild. But anyway, I'll tell you off camera more.
There's funny. Layers to this, like ogres.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, onions have layers. That story's got layers. But yeah, so yeah, it's something I don't think I could ever do. Then we didn't even get into the sexy time argument where it's like, well, what if I'm, and then someone else is like, what they have their sexy time. They're like, who gets to the bedroom?
Yeah. Or that's funny. You call it sexy time.
Hey, bro. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure there's people listening in their cars with their kids in there, and it's just like, hey.
What's sexy time, mommy?
Yeah. How did I get here, mommy? Sexy time.
So, right after that, Wendy's frosty.
Yeah, right. Hey, shut up. I'll get you a frosty. Quit asking questions.
Hey, Christmas is a little early. Take this little keychain, kid, and shut up.
What if I told you, sweetheart, I can get you a free frosty every day? Mommy, I'll stop asking questions. Here you go. Just hand him the keychain.
Go to your room and play with your toys.
All right. So tonight, this will be our last topic we hit before we get into the trivia question. Got a fun one too. Tonight, I want to get your pick. Great Monday Night Football game. It's a Super Bowl rematch. Is it Chiefs at Eagles or Eagles at Chiefs?
I have no clue. I'm assuming it's Chiefs at Eagles, though.
Yeah, look that up.
I'll let you.
But it's going to be kind of an interesting situation because now Taylor Swift's been going to a lot of these games. I don't know if she's going to make it. It'd be kind of awkward. One of her fans just recently passed over the weekend, I believe, or last week at one of her concerts.
It's not that. I might have been last week. Then.
Yeah, at one of her concerts. And this was in Brazil. They said that inside the stadium, it was over 140 degrees, packed stadium, and they banned bringing in waters, which I love the wording on this because it sounds so dramatic. Water was forbidden. Water was not allowed. That is literally every festival and every concert. They don't allow you to bring in water bottles. They don't allow you to bring your own drinks. They don't allow you any of that stuff. Why? Because they overprice the heck out of their stuff, and they want to get you to buy their stuff instead of you bringing in your own. Because if you bring in your own, then you don't need to buy their stuff, and you can buy a $12 water bottle. So that's kind of the idea. It wasn't like, oh, you're not allowed to drink water. No, it was like they just want you to buy theirs. But the point being is it was really hot. 140 degrees seems unbelievable. She passed away. She had to cancel the concert for that night. And I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if she's just going to be like, I just can't picture it. And if it happens, that's going to be wild. Fan just passed. Cancel the concert. And hey, now I'm going to go see my boyfriend play Monday Night Football against, it's a game that she should be at because her whole family is like Eagle fans.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, you're a superstar. You can't put your life on hold because, something happens to someone at your concert, bro.
And I agree, but the backlash, the internet's hilarious.
It's just weird. Wow, she really is going to eat breakfast tomorrow after someone died?
Yeah.
What?
Look how little she cares about her fans. It's like, bro, she's still got a life to live, and there's people who, the reality is people die every day.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be
It's
at her
unfortunate.
concert. Yeah, it's not, no one's saying it's not unfortunate. It's just like, hey, what is she supposed to do? Like, hey, no going out, no eating, no nothing, no dating, no seeing your boyfriend for 3 months. Let this pass.
Yeah, it's at Kansas City, by the way. Yes.
Give me your pick.
Yeah, it's not like when they try to do the whole, there's a war going on, like literally nukes are flying everyone. They're like, Trump or Biden's playing golf this morning. It's a little different. So, anywho.
Yeah, Eagles at Kansas City. Both teams coming off a bye, a Super Bowl rematch. I believe they have the same record. They have similar records. They're both at the top of their conferences. Who do you like tonight?
No, Eagles 8-1, Chiefs 7-2.
Similar.
Yeah. I want to say I'm kind of torn because I sat Patrick Mahomes for Stroud.
Hey, we got to talk trade.
Yeah.
You got Patrick Mahomes on the bench. I just see him sitting there.
But Stroud is killing it,
yeah.
bro. It was so hard for me to be like, because I think this is why I want to say Kansas City, but I almost don't want to say Kansas City because if I say Kansas City, that's me implying that they're going to win and Patrick Mahomes is really well because I think he's going to kill it on Monday night.
He is.
So I wanted to play him, but it's just really tough. He could have possibly got me the win today if he goes nuts. So it's kind of a hard game for me to watch. I'm going to go Kansas City.
Kansas City, and I'll take the Eagles. I think it's going to be a really good game. I just don't think, and I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to pass. That defense is good, but it's also not very good against passing. They're really good at stopping the run. Isaiah Pacheco, thank you.
Not today.
But I just don't think that they have the weapons. Who is it? Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. So give me the Eagles. And I think it's one of those things where it's like there's a slight Super Bowl, okay, this is our chance to get our kind of payback or whatever. Yeah. So I'll take the Eagles. You take the Chiefs. And yeah, it'll be good.
I feel like also last thing, Patrick Mahomes. People have been he's having his worst season he's ever had in his career. NFL
and they're like
career,
8-2.
Yeah. So I think this is one of those prove it's for him. And I think Patrick Mahomes always does it. It's just like a Tom Brady effect. He always ends up pulling it out to show we're not who you guys are saying we are. We're still here. We're top dogs. And I might not be having a great season, but I'm gonna show up when it's time,
Yep. Absolutely. And that's what he always does.
He
literally.
Always does. It's ridiculous. And bro, I still trip out about that Tyreek Hill left Kansas City. When you see how great he is even in Miami. It's like imagine if him and Mahomes are still together. That'd be insane.
It'd be crazy. It's like if they would probably be winning Super Bowls. Oh, wait. they still won a Super Bowl last year without
Yeah,
Tyreek Hill.
exactly.
That's how great Patrick Mahomes is. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. So anyways, yeah, that's our Monday Night Football breakdown. Let's get into our trivia question. Before we get into that, big shout out once again, Rev Nutrition jumping on as a sponsor. I love you, say it back, the podcast. Take advantage of their Black Friday deals. Don't forget, Define. We have that here. It's one of my favorite products. Been taking it for a really long time, before a show, before sports, before whatever. We take that. I'm on it right now. Our producer Eric's on it right now. And make sure you go buy a Define and you get a free melt. These are going to be starting the 22nd to the 27th. So make sure you guys jump on those. 22nd through the 27th. Black Friday deals. Rev Nutrition. They got them in Northeast, East Bakersfield, Southwest, everywhere that you need to go, that they're going to be on your side of town. Also, make sure you get 20% off your entire order when you mention I Love You, Say It Back, the podcast. I Love You, Say It Back. Mention the podcast, 20% off your entire order. Excited to have them on board. Rev Nutrition, get you some Define. You want to start the year looking great, feeling great, hit those goals. You need pre-workout. You need aminos. You need Define. You need fat burners. You need everything that you need to hit those health and fitness goals. Rev Nutrition, babies. Glad to have them on board. Also, a big shout out to Mattress Space Furniture Outlet off Buck Owens Boulevard. Go check out my boy C's in Bakersfield. Get you taken care of. Let's get into our trivia question. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This one's funny because a lot of people are going to be with their families this week.
Yeah.
This is the number one thing family members do that makes dads angry. This is the number one thing family members do that makes dads angry. Go.
During holidays, or this is just
in general?
The number one things families do that get the dad angry.
Yep. Like at home.
Turn off the TV?
No, but you're actually not far off. I think there's
change the channel?
Nope. I actually think there's a really obvious guess, and I think a lot of the people listening right now are saying, turn the AC, move the AC, like mess with the AC. I think that's a really popular answer, but it is not the messing with the AC. You ever get mad when you're like your dad, you turn down the heat, the
That's
AC?
usually my mom thing. A mom thing, like, why is it?
Don't nobody touch a thermostat.
Yeah, you don't pay the electricity bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm gonna either say the TV thing or leaving the door open.
Nope.
Does this have to do at home?
It is at home, yeah.
Okay.
The number one thing that family members do at home that makes dads angry.
I feel like it's there in my head to say, and I'm just like, I can't get it. I'm gonna go with sitting in dad's spot.
That's a good guess. That
That
was,
pisses people, bro.
yeah.
Like, you could go to someone's house and you could sit somewhere like, hey, that's my dad's chair, bro.
That's Papa's chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is not the correct answer. This is the number one thing that makes family members angry, or that family members do that makes dads angry. Leaving lights on in rooms and shit.
Yeah. Damn.
And
That's a good one. Yeah.
that's a good one. So yeah, that's gonna be our episode. We are just kind of a layout for this week. We're gonna drop this episode. Hopefully, we are getting it lock loaded up by Tuesday morning. And we're going to give you a little bonus episode on Thanksgiving. Myself and producer Eric are going to give you our slate. I know a lot of you guys have family that you guys don't really care about coming into town. So maybe you go into the room, you get yourself a little distraction, you turn on the podcast, you have some fun with us. We'll talk about what we're going to get into. We're going to talk about Thanksgiving food, the best, the worst, the traditions. So that's going to be coming up Thursday morning, Thanksgiving morning. Y'all enjoy the rest of the week. Go shopping, get all your stuff done early because those stores are going to be crazy. Until Thursday, I love you. Say it back. We'll see you next time. Oh, follow the gang on socials. I am at Vic D Radio. Our producer is Life of Ivera. This show is called ILY Say It Back Podcast. We're in the Creative Haven, brought to you by the Creative Crew.
Yes, sir.
Until next time, y'all be good. I love you. Say it back.